The first thing I'm going to do is prepare my pastry dough. I have 3 cups of all-purpose flour. I'm going to add 1/3 cup of sugar and 1 teaspoon of salt. I'm also going to flavor this with some cinnamon. I'm going to add about 1/2 teaspoon of cinnamon just to add some flavor to the dough, and then we're going to add our butter. I'm going to be adding 1 3/4 stick of butter, and I'm using ice cold butter. This butter was in my freezer and I cut it up, and then I'm going to add it in my flour. But first I'm going to combine the flour mixture just to make sure that the salt, the flour, and the cinnamon powder, the sugar, everything is properly combined. Next, I'm going to go in with my butter, guys, and the butter was in the freezer. I took it out about 5 minutes before and cut it up. So I'm going to use my clean hands to combine the butter and the flour just to create like a large crumb-like consistency, and then I'm going to gradually add my iced cold water. So now that my flour and butter mixture is combined, I am going to gradually add my water, and I'm using 1/3 cup of iced cold water. I add it gradually until it forms into a nice ball. Alright, so we're just gonna use both hands. After adding the water, I'm gonna use both hands and just make sure that all the flour mixture is combined. So now that my dough is ready, I'm just going to roll it out. And as you can tell, I didn't knead this at all. I just make sure that I use my hands to combine the flour. So no kneading is necessary. Now I'm just going to fold it in my parchment paper and press it down into a circle so that it forms the shape that I want it to have. And then I'm going to place it in my fridge. If you're hurrying, you can put it in the freezer for like 5 minutes or so, but I am in no hurry, so I'm just going to place it in my fridge for about 15 minutes. So after being in the fridge for about 15 minutes, I dust my counter, place my dough on top, and then I am going to roll. Alright, so we're just going to roll it into a circle and place it into our pie dish. As you can see, the flour makes it way easier for me to roll this out. And if you guys watch my gizzardo video, you will see how I made my dough. It's basically the same thing, my pastry dough. So you see, pastry dough is simple and easy to make. So all you have to do is just make your own. If you don't have the time to make your own, that's fine. You can go and buy the store-bought one. So now that it's rolled out, I just roll it over my rolling pin, and then I'm going to place it onto my pie dish so that it doesn't break apart. Alright, so I'm just going to carefully push it in from the outside. So I don't want to press too much on the middle because this is dough, it's flour, it will break, and we don't want that. So I'm just cutting off the extra edges, and then I am going to just use my fingers to pinch the sides. You don't necessarily have to pinch the side. This pie dish that I'm using already come with the pie shape. You can just press it down on it and get that shape, but we're just gonna pinch the side like when we were making our gizzardo to give it a little shape. Alright, so I'm just gonna use my index finger, push in, and use my other index and thumb to pinch. So now that I have the shape that I want, I am going to pre-bake this for about 15 minutes. So I have already gone ahead and preheat my oven at 400 degrees, and now I am going to fold this piece of parchment paper into a circle. So I'll fold it in 2 first, then in 4, and then I am going to cut the edges in a semicircle. After cutting that, I'm going to open it into a circle and place it in the middle of my pie. That's when I'm going to add my beans. If you have pie weights, you can go ahead and use that, but I don't have any. So I'm going to use my beans just to hold on the bottom of my pie so that it doesn't poof up. Alright, so this is like a visual tutorial, so you'll see exactly what I'm doing. So feel free to go ahead and put your beans in a Ziploc bag when you're done so that you can save them to use again. So now we're just going to pop it in the oven for about 15 minutes, just enough time for it to be firm, because when we're baking the pie, we don't want the pie to cause the pie dough to be soft and saggy. You know, we don't want that. So that is why we're pre-baking it. So now that it's done pre-baking, we're just going to remove our beans, and then we're going to just use a fork to pierce the bottom, just a few piercing on the bottom so that it doesn't poof up. All right, and then we're going to move over to our potatoes. So here I have 3 large potatoes. I'm just going to pierce them with the fork and place them in the oven to bake for 1 hour. Now after 1 hour, we're just going to remove the skin, and we're going to put this in our mixer. So these are piping hot out of the oven, but when they're hot, it's easier for the skin to be removed. So don't do like me, you guys. Be careful when you're removing the skin. Don't get yourself burned, or just use 2 forks. All right. So I'm just going to remove the skins, place them in my bowl, and then we're going to get mixing. So now I'm going to place this in my mixer, and I'm going to mix up the potato by itself so that I can remove the strings, because I know there's going to be some little strings in there, but I am just going to mix it first and remove the strings before adding my spices and my pumpkin. Now I'm just going to grate about 1/4 teaspoon of nutmeg, and then I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of cinnamon powder, 1/4 teaspoon of ginger powder, and just a dash of pumpkin spice, just a pinch of pumpkin spice and a pinch of allspice, just to add that nice clove flavor to our pumpkin and potato pie. So now I'm just adding my butter. I'm also adding my brown sugar. I'm going to add some carnation milk, some heavy whipping cream, and I'm also going to add some vanilla. I like to mix it up like this first before adding my eggs, just so that I can taste it, because I don't want to taste it with the raw eggs in there. So after mixing this up, I can taste it, see if I need more cinnamon, if I need more sugar, and you know, feel free to go and add whatever you want to add. Now I'm adding my pumpkin, and I'm using the Libby's pumpkin puree, and I use the whole can. All right. When I was buying my potatoes, I met this lady, this grandma in Walmart. She was buying potatoes, and she asked me if I'm going to be making potato pie, and I said yes, and she said try add some condensed milk in there. So I don't know if any one of you want to take the advice and try it. It's okay to try new stuff, but I didn't add it to my list of ingredients because it's not mine. It's something that she suggested, but you can go ahead and try it if you want. She said that it gives it that finishing touch, the condensed milk. So if you want to go ahead and try that. I just added my 3 eggs, and I added some orange zest in my eggs just to cut away the rawness and to add some nice flavor to my sweet potato pie as well. So before I added the eggs, I did taste it, and it didn't need anything at all. So the last 2 things that I'm going to add in there is just a pinch of salt and 2 tablespoons of all-purpose flour. All right, that's the final thing, and then I'm gonna just mix it until it's nice and smooth and there's no lumps at all. So you can see the nice, smooth, rich consistency. This was really rich, and I have to say that this potato that I bought in Walmart was there were some really good potatoes, really nice and smooth and rich and ready to be poured into my pie dough. So while I'm pouring this, I'm just going to be using my spatula to level this out to make sure that it's evenly distributed into the pie dish. Alright, so I did have some left over, just a little bit, and I pour it into a small baking pan and put some marshmallow on the top and give it to the kids. So I had my oven preheated at 350 degrees and I baked this for 40 minutes and it was done beautifully. Alright, so I was cooking dinner as well, so I'm just going to place it aside and let it cool down while I cook my dinner, and then I'm going to come back and slice this so that you can see the texture on everything. Alright, so now it's cooled and I'm going to cut a slice for you guys. So I'm just going to hold the edges when I'm cutting so that it doesn't break apart. I want a perfect piece to give to you guys. And bam, it came out perfect without breaking and falling apart. So guys, I hope you found this video useful, and I hope you click the share button and share it with your friends and family. I'm giving you this slice with a top of whipped cream. Alright, so this is your slice. Please share this video with your friends and your family so that they can make this and place it on their Thanksgiving table. So don't forget to show some love and be kind to each other, and I'll see you guys in my next one.